Sierra Leone's ever-growing youthful population still continues to grapple with high rates of unemployment and other challenges. Despite the enormous challenges, young people are still working on realizing their potential. With emerging entrepreneurs and innovators, Youth Encounter on Star Television and Radio is a program that showcases successful young people, discuss the challenges, and provide recommendations. Join Mohammed Basiru Sanusi PM. It's Youth Encounter on Star TV on Channel 21.
Hello viewers, Naswaga, welcome to another edition of Youth Encounter. It comes to you live on Star TV on Channel 21. We broadcast live from Media One Center Studios on 3 Mama Street, Brookfield, inside Freetown. And me now, presenter, Mohamed Basiru Sanusi. We could want to say, anyhow, country for them, it was still tall past grass. And inside the studio today, we look inside the creative art industry. As we know, the football things that only happen in the country, but waiting the creative art side gets for the country, and when the authority, the role them for play, and the role of the entertainers themselves in that sector there. For second that, I get Alex Nalo Jr., we are the managing director for Multimedia Plus, a state-of-the-art multimedia. We can help for promote the image of the creative art industry in the country. Alex, thank you for getting into the encounter.
Plenty thank Bash. Always a pleasure for coming, and it's excitement always on the Youth Encounter.
As a young entrepreneur, plenty you talk about entrepreneurship, you talk about the creative arts in and out, but for now, as the managing director, I know you get much for say, and you look for those sites and people will come and can make use of the facility. The last time when I get to you and the rest of the team here, we look at waiting on the car, but now the property they don't come, but I'll go for Andulam, what to stand for. Viewers will get the benefits. How do you feel like for move away small from the normal things we know Alex from moving out to the multimedia full?
Well, I wouldn't. First of all, it's always excitement, and I wouldn't say it's a move away. I think not just for Canada the limelight in terms of multimedia. I don't do close to multimedia for years now, very years, and I think my first ever company where I registered a multimedia company. I think I'm the very first person we registered 232 Entertainment. Then it was like, it was the only thing we get for the 232 in a salon. But then because of people begin for copy and so much, we register them as Emotions Multimedia. So given that, we don't engage a lot in terms of how we will for add value to the creative art industry. But then that takes some while, it takes some, dissolve at some bit, and we begin need for do other things then. So coming back to the limelight of multimedia now, I think it's a lot of excitement because Sierra Leone in a space, in a time where we need for both with creative art industry.
So if you still miss the opportunity now, it will be challenging in the future.
Very challenging.
I saw that country don't go far ahead of we.
What we wouldn't even say far ahead of we, probably the adjective very difficult for find as to who side the other countries and in terms of creative art. But then I think Sierra Leoneans we just need for wake up and add value to the creative art industry and begin for get people who get a creative mindset, get a conducive atmosphere and platform for make them talent and creativity show.
I'll bring you back and look at the benefits if the creative art industry boom, just like how the Sierra Leone Premier League they play right now. Sierra Leone will converge in various mini stadiums, them even the national stadium for watch their best team play. And you see the argument on the social media, you see the hype, you see how the new media don't help to promote the Premier League. So one for see how then they go up and back in the creative art industry. It might be movies, it might be videos from the gospel world, to the secular and all. I'll bring them back. And even Alex Nalo Jr. and I'm the managing director of Multimedia Plus. Not going aside, carry on for the This is a Youth Encounter. And they come to you live on Star TV on Channel 21 and also on Facebook Star TV Live. Not going aside, carry on for the
Some guys are late, man. It's
Come on to traffic business, it's you, sir. I always manage to go, so I like it.
all this, all the time, no better.
We don't take for this business. So
We all don't declare and say this year now, this year we will celebrate.
See me the time to start. Now we may have bump out for now they just open up to do something. And then continue. A lot of people in the out there will be showing things. Don't just snap up to know this year everything.
this year we go celebrate.
Logo to get logo to get logo.
It's borderline ENT.
This year, 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 this year,
Camouflage, what up? We go full the bag. Let's go.
this year, better go follow me. This year, this year, this year, I got the power. This year, money go follow me. This year, this year, this year, I got the power. This year, I go fulfill my destiny. This year, this year, this year, I go celebrate. This year, many, many blessings. This year, I go graduate. This year, I go get fine work. This year, celebrate my day. This year, I go full the door. This year, I go build me house. This year, I go pull up in the Lamborghini. This year, I got the power.
This year, camouflage, what up? We go full the bag. Let's go. I got the power. This year we go elevate. I got the power. Pop money we go calculate. I got the power. And if I'm cool, then go congratulate. I got the special grace and power, and me they go celebrate. This year I go Lego new one day. Surprise you one day if you say it done. Papa God, me provider. Go change me put out to Range Rover. This year my story go change. Me life no go remain the same. This time me year of jubilation. Double promotion. This time me year now you hear we all go make them congratulations. Put on a dancing shoe, let we light the daddy gladly in jubilation.
This year, better go follow me. This year, this year, this year, I got the power. This year, money go follow me. This year, this year, this year, I got the power. This year, I go fulfill my destiny. This year, this year, this year, I go celebrate. This year, many, many blessings. This year, I go graduate. I go get fine work. Celebrate my day. This year, I go full the door. This year, I go build me house. This year, I go put up in the Lamborghini. This year, I got the power. This year, this year, this year, this year, this year, I got the power. This year, 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 I got the power.
Welcome back. As Camouflage say, this year young people need for get the motivation and not say two options, either they learn book or they go out and learn work and make themselves very useful in society, starting from violence and because now we get the energy as youth. The moment you go over the age of 40, it don't begin difficult for you. So as young people will get the energy now, and now we've put more effort. Coming back to you, Alex Nalo. The whole idea about Multimedia Plus, the last day you start for Terry, but for the benefit of also the watching for the very first time, you want for come with the whole idea again, and I want to go about on our operations.
Well, Multimedia Plus specifically in a Sierra Leonean initiative, Sierra Leonean own, and we get the drive for change the narrative of Sierra Leone creative art industry and make we able for export we creative art industry, creative art talents them to other countries, so other places, so that people can able for buy into we culture, then go able for buy into we lifestyle, then go able for buy into we fashion, then go able for buy into we movies, they go able buy into we music, because you know Sierra Leone is a very beautiful country, but then we creative art industry with respect to every other person we've been on the one before, and congratulations to all of the many gains and successes we across industry players that don't play. We think that we're very human that always needed it for go a bit step forward. But now, way back or plenty time, the mass cry of people and that we don't get the right equipment, we not get the right atmosphere, we not get the environment, we not get the right studios for make them able to produce content. We'll be able to match other contents around the world. We'll be able to place we as equal people with other countries and other people. As recent you see from how Diamond, one of the arts them marketing country, and you don't see other various musicians and creative people around other African countries how they able to project. But then we get amazing talent to them as alone. We get amazing talent when it comes to singers, when it comes to movie actors. But then people that are not being done, able to forget the required support what they need in terms of equipment, in terms of trainings, in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, for me to be able to produce that. So all of those issues and then inspire the path of Multimedia Plus will come and able to look at all of them issues and how we're able to provide solution to them.
The entire background of this very, very nice, but how legal people get this understanding, say, okay, let we do them. You know, Emmanuel and Jesse come together, bring you on board as the manager. But we want to see most times people from now feel they get what they want to put their cash on. And when I did the first time for long, I tell people about Multimedia Plus, understand someone don't spend over $200,000. You know, legal people them. What thing convince them for put money inside multimedia?
Well, I think it's all born out of the need for provide a solution to a problem. We pretty much tied to entrepreneurship again. That they live in a country, they live in an environment where you think certain things and they need for be done, certain things and they need for be present, but then they constantly see they're absent. So Emmanuel, Jesse, and the rest of the team members looking at, okay, not to always before cry down Sierra Leone, not get this Sierra Leone, not to this level, because traveling a lot, you always go see things that we really they up to standard from creative art, and they wish Salon get this, but then it's all about the spirit of drifting from that wish and becoming that doer, that person where they do what's in they anticipate Salon for be like. So I think another one the drive for the Multimedia Plus, and Emmanuel and Jesse, we always can get interesting conversations and see, come on, at some point we always go ask questions like, this go work in a salon, is this possible, can this work,
Because when I look at how expensive the equipment can be, or when I take you on the tour, when I get the video side, the one for audio and the photo shoot, and a point where somebody go on for go shoot in show and play on any TV station across the globe, when I already click that kind of platform for them. With creating all this platform, how open up Multimedia Plus be?
Well, it's a very open business in the sense that we open for work with everybody. So one thing we do try as much as we make we do not that. We don't want to forget a closed model. We say we think say we run we own record label. No, it's not a record label. It's a commercial recording studio. We mean say any other person with a talent, we want to sing music, we think say music line path can walk into a studio and we'll put forward with prices. If there's need for negotiation, of course we can negotiate. So we work with people. We don't try for create as much as we can strategic partnership. Like last week Friday, we do the media opening call media institutions, because that is how important we think say then they for able to drive the creative art industry. Again, why we even call them was that is part of the openness strategy, because most times media practitioners, they give too much premium to political news and other things, and they not even provide enough coverage on creative arts and industries, except you get for run behind some media practitioners, you get for push. But then it's not the story of you see media practitioners, they go, they chase creative art industries and they try for bring out the creative activities and what they happen across the country. So we engage them on that. We're open to media partnership with them. We get a lot of discussions ongoing. For the rest of this week, we look at a whole lot of design processes on within the best practices, what is possible, what is not possible, would have for talk with, would have not for talk with, would have for get discussions with. So it's all been part of, we're very open, and I think the entire ownership of the Multimedia Plus, it's a Sierra Leonean own thing, what means in a Sierra Leonean.
So despite all those that don't invest inside in salon people and get Alex, we're looking inside the professional aspect. There are times of people who are into creative art industry, they will do some, the way they paint, the way they sing, the manner way they edit the video, the post way they act the film. Most of them feel like these governments of the day, they do with favor. But let's just reflect the memory into written the law say. When you watch Act number 6, 1999 Constitution of this country, Fundamental Principle of State Policy, Article 12 tells you say the government shall support the creative art industry. And when you go to the African Charter of 2006, Article 22, when that Salona is signature from 2006 to now, it tells you then for support the creative art, leisure and other things. Upon all this, people don't feel like now favor, like any government will come for help for them and get at least a commission, get a correct act, and get some documents workable. We will make get access to trainings and even support as other industry they get. How we for move this complaint go before?
Well, as always, we always go on for, there's always a need for Pecan government, which is how for color na part of the citizenship instinct where any citizen go get for for color government, because it's a social contract. People put them there for ensure that. But then outside government, we think say a lot needed to be done. First of all, the perception about the creative art industry, it get a whole lot for the way, it get a lot of association for do with mediocrity. It get a lot of association for do with say no, now these are no number, these are not serious, these are not this. So we get very fine personalities, credible and amazing people, and we into this industry. But then need no then people are not be done able for collaborate together for able for make the industry look as valuable as it's supposed to look. So assuming from government, mean also government spokesperson, but then if government they look at the priority areas on things that were urgent, I'm pretty sure say the creative arts industry not they too calm. We're not able to make government believe and think say this is not economic activity. That if the creative art industry boom, this is able to add value to Sierra Leone.
As an example, like how the football the boom so now.
Exactly.
You know, you get just made a cologne, we must get an argument.
Exactly.
And whenever we get a match, people come on the first open match go ball.
So
the same platform need for the
for
the creative art industry.
So this is how governments support. Governments they become driven by how serious people and they about waiting and they do. So you find out say when you turn to the football, when they put the Sierra Leone Premier League board together and with the leadership and we had them make moves, you find out say even the demand where they make to government's not been too sure say they will provide all that. And therefore provide them parts.
Until when the president appeared at the opening ceremony in the Blackpool and Lions game, the following morning they add the cash one.
Now we give the all waiting they want.
Okay.
So imagine now governments go able to forget any kind of negotiation with football. Because sometimes it's not theory. Not so for let we just go preach to government to want to support, but what have you shown? So we still believe say the creative art industry we need for work a lot for show something to government.
What's that the missing link? I don't tell you about the Article 12, not the Constitution. I don't tell you about the 2006 African Youth Charter, Article 22. We all intend not to favor government to do the creative art, but they say the government shall. What's get the missing link for connect the dot now?
I think the missing link for us has been that we not always don't get great equipment and we're able to drive the creative art industry. So as to that, you find out say the productions and not able to go far beyond Sierra Leone. And when we government leaders them travel across the world, we creative art industry in order to make news, in order to make topical issues, so we're able to make them come back and reflect. So imagine if Salon produced a film will become the talk of West Africa alone, or the talk of Mano River Union. We go get need for people and say, okay, Mr. President, we're watching this movie from Sierra Leone, we like it. So the government will begin to take that serious. So I think the missing link has been quality production.
Okay.
So that the moment we begin for the quality production, then we begin for say, okay, government's not go get option, but then go one for the part of. Interestingly, government, private sector, people want for the part of things where they make the biggest news, things where they come with the biggest money, where they employ people and the biggest and all that. And again, that a lot of people and the other missing link has been that most people think say for make money out of entertainment is a bad thing. Most people think say a passion driven something. It's a business. So plenty time a day you see somebody get no, not for money I do. If not for money, for waiting. So until people get able for learn, for take the creative art industry very seriously.
So overall, we need for add more value. As other sector
exactly. So the moment,
but you don't say the political interference don't they play one dangerous role. We the governments of the day want to get entertainers then with the support party. So even if now Alex or Bash understand how to move the creative art industry to different heights, we not go do one. As it stand now, the directorate day and the tourism ministry. But how many of we understand in the benefits? Say okay, this sector now you have failed on ourselves.
Or I think that one didn't have a very interesting something, and it's a bit a crazy thing because of course that one day not to see what they hide. Government always want to get constituents. Also evidence people together. Government in, government out. Politicians think about numbers and people. Than their own currency.
Okay.
But I think the creative people they are not too busy creating than work. So because now when you too available, now you there around government, you understand. So if you find out that people they take more energy for form unions, for form group, than for take energy for create them work. So you see people in the now we didn't film this, now we didn't this, that. I'm like, okay, this energy we want to pull, if you take them for go create, come on. You know, when the previous administration be there, I think there was a time we witnessed when it was very well whiskey when whiskey came. You find out say some people them they grumble the way whiskey see don't we go meet Sierra Leone president.
And even the time be late around 11:30.
Because the guy.
Well, it don't take some very long time by then whiskey them boy you not even see.
So if things say in a boss, it can think like a king. So you know. They give respect to politicians to bow to you, but you equally get for bow to one. But then we entertainers them. I don't know. Most times entertainers want for be politicians, because there's too much energy in grouping as alone in terms of love form this group now, and these people then form this group. They see the next way then they want for go to government for support. So until we stop for make government support into the creative arts as the priority revenue stream.
How would do for win the corporate role or the public-private partnership?
Exactly.
The PPP.
That's what you're saying.
How would do for win them to us?
Exactly. So imagine even brand placement, how much brand placements they get if they make movie. They say, okay, this movie what they make, we'll get one company poll now, with the team they will shoot this movie. This company need for give you this money. So plenty ways and they for able to get them companies and they call private institutions for place and brand. So if we begin to make the private sector as the number one and the priority source of revenue, then we will reduce government's interest. Because the point is that governments can get so much more into entertainment because they're going to tell you, say, too many entertainers and they meet them and then they put too much money in people in personal pockets. So then things that they're going to forget them. But when it's strictly business, you begin to look at corporate institutions.
Let's get your take on two other things with the creative art industry in this country. One of the internet connectivity. You know, when you go other part like Ghana, Nigeria, you will see on market too. You will see the market too man instead the browse. But yeah, the social media, the YouTube and internet, where most people don't sleep, where you don't even get time for.
You're right.
Yeah? How many people fully access the YouTube or other channels them do in the day? And secondly, imagine Salon now one of the countries where they pay the most expensive multi-choice subscription. But till date, amongst all the TV that we have in this country, you know, none of we not get access or not even get money for the multi-choice. As a nation, we not get single channel in multi-choice. And when you read the media history of West Africa, SLBS by then, now the first media house we get respect all in the years. But till date, we not get no station. Like for instance, you can watch MTV based something. You know, say we in song here, and just they promote them, but you know reach up to it.
Right.
How we go do for conquer them two things here? Forget the cheaper internet and watch with stars and video. As soon as they reach 1 million, we celebrate. Then they laugh with. So we still munku.
So it's all about how we able to get people in the creative arts industry for take serious conversations to government. We're not go meet government for support for sure. How about creative people that we give for things? Say, okay, let we protest. Let we protest. Say, what we want as creative people, our internet connectivity want. Let we meet the right. SARCAP is in charge of that. Get a discussion. So like this is what happens. So let we pick conversations. So we are not going for support. You're not going to go big money, but you beg for infrastructures and things that we're supposed to happen. Because with the drive of internet, you see how much we're able to impact the creative art industry. Of course, you can be a creative person, you don't get access to internet, you're not able to thrive. This is the 21st century. So until we begin for pick up then conversations with those authorities concerned and begin for demand, like we want this internet connectivity and begin for see how we're able for engage the different players, the different actors them we get for do with the internet connectivity and get in serious conversations. When we start those conversations, people get for begin for take we serious.
And that will spill over to the multi-issues. Don't follow the channel now.
Yeah, so even the channel thing here, I think it was sometime last year ago, I write multi-choice requesting for get a channel on DSTV. It was a long crazy conversations. You know, from the email and categorically tell me say we state broadcaster, then they determine that. Not so then they determine. I'll not be able to understand the technology behind that. But I'm still researching and still they engage conversations. But I get for do with Winaya. So imagine when the previous administration be there, for instance, we see outside the Minister of Information, they go with the STV people and South Africa, then go get meet with multi-choice. That conversation will come up. So we're not demanding. Things not they happen out of space. So until we begin for demand, I think even with the DSTV now, I think for now we have to be very honest. Even we sold vendor with there for DSTV. I don't need to have for now. If I become uncomfortable, that come on, I can be the DSTV person. I can be the person where you get the sole right for sell DSTV and alone. And this country not get a single channel on DSTV. When you get hundreds of almost the TV stations, every TV station in Ghana they on DSTV. So is that impossible for Sierra Leone? So I think we need to forget all of those conversations with people that we concerned.
Put on that table, I'll take from me. Alex, I'll bring you back and kind of look at the way forward now as a nation and wait to one change from Multimedia Plus. According to research, we have got the latest gadget there now, but how the layman will benefit from it, even if it is Zimi or it is as far as Gendema or some sign of bats can already be. Kevin for the this and Youth Encounter, they come to you live on Star TV on Channel 21. Go for a quick break. When I come right back, I'm going to welcome Aruna Wahid, who people don't call Sir Wahid, as they celebrating 15 years in the entertainment world, because we don't have a call an industry, not get with it take for being an industry. So the creative art industry different from entertainment industry. Take a quick break. When I come back, we'll welcome Wahid inside the studios.
Sierra Leone's ever-growing youthful population still continues to grapple with high rates of unemployment and other challenges. Despite the enormous challenges, young people are still working on realizing their potential. With emerging entrepreneurs and innovators, Youth Encounter on Star Television and Radio is a program that showcases successful young people, discuss the challenges and provide recommendations. Join Mohammed Basiru Samasi PM. It's Youth Encounter on Star TV on Channel 21.
Welcome back. You're still watching Youth Encounter. They come to you live on Star TV on Channel 21. At the internet broadcast now, www.startvs.com. And also now the internet on Facebook and Star TV Live. Thank you to the team where they put materials in place for letting the encounter come to us. So inside the encounter, to look inside the creative art industry, with everything we're supposed to get, we know to get. And the whole idea of I don't support this party in the past, now we for them, before now for benefit, and they kill them totally. Because it's football per play. So the creative art industry itself need for the thrive and now they go reduce the unemployment rates. Welcome Wahid now the studios. Wahid, congratulations, you celebrate 15 years at the entertainment sector. The good, the bad and the ugly. You know, you don't spend 15 years, one day we don't wake up in the morning, we get you in the impasse on TV in a scam. We don't wake election time where you say you voice nearly cuts. I and play the song today. So God be the glory to all. So the journey. You know, tell something about the journey, how life don't be for you 15 years along the line.
It's bittersweet. For be honest, I can always say I don't enjoy the good times of salon music. We collect serious royalties from CSA under the regime of President Jibo. When we they make album sales, you make very first copy, you go get like 10,000 copies, 7,000 copies. Sold out, and then they send more sleeve for you for make you sign, and you get more copies. I remember 2006 when I dropped the True Friend album. Inside they will get the national anthem in them. I collect, I think on my first royalties, it was like 12 to 40 million. Imagine, I'm speaking 2006, that was serious money. And then I remember when we released the Bodyguard Revolution Chapter 1 in 2004. We've been plenty with the likes of the late Shine the Godson, Emerson, Bone Dada, Vanny, of course, the CEO who doubles as a singer as well, Fisher, and the Bodyguards, they were all together. But then when royalties came in, we collected at least 3 million, and that money has to be shared around. And sometimes we go look by who that come first. Bone Dada will get more than me because he's senior. Shine the Godson, the late man, may so continue for rest in peace. Where I meet, they go get more than me. Me go get more than Emerson, you know, because of how we did. The Bodyguard day, but then we received money, and then I also don't suffer the bitter part when piracy they make we not able for and single cent per we work them all they do in the industry, and you know different things, social cry down, you know what I mean, and financial constraints throughout. So it's been 15 years of bittersweet in the industry.
Everybody is a political animal, but for you and your members and the artists, for you don't maintain the integrity. There are no times somebody know how to picture na do of when I support party A or party B. You know, how I don't cope with that.
To God be the glory. To be honest, lately I realized that we not for take no credit. The credit all now God get out. Because at the end of the day, I tell you what, Bash, it's tempting. It's really tempting because
I mean, the packaging, the envelope. Yeah, I don't think I can inform now. I'm like in neglect. Okay.
It's tempting, and if you're relevant as a musician, you know they will knock on your door. You'll be approached. But at the end of the day, like you say, it takes. I can say anybody will stand for something, then you will fall for anything. You have to stand for something. We were able, myself and colleague CJ Mark, for create the Artists for Peace during the 2007 elections, because we see how violence been the waiting, and we say the fame mode they enjoy so, the stardom mode they enjoy so, now the fans then give it. So if we think say now the same fans them don't gullible at this point, where the politicians they go meet for small things, you know, incite them for make them cause political violence, bring tribal differences, regional differences, where we know say go sabotage, with fragile peace who they enjoy coming from 11-year brutal civil war. We feel say that we now being responsibility at that time for make we come and tell them same people and they wait and tell and the way we say put your hands up. I remember circular they say go down. If you see people in a dance hall involuntarily, then just they go down like that. So we not say then they listen to we say we need for come out and tell them the better word. We not the better word. And I'd say election they come and election they pass. Waiting go left na peace na the salon where we get. Waiting go left na me and you too. It no matter whose tribe you dey, whose region you come out from. Now, me, if you look at this country, we enjoy intermarriages. We get so much religious tolerance. I remember at some point we prayed can fall on Sunday. So sweet. Christians go to church and Muslims then go.
At the end of the day, if anybody can to say, "Well, we're not big today," you know, get salad what you cook.
Exactly. We share food. That's what we have. So it was based on all of those things we look at. And the Artists for Peace don't thrive. In 2012, after the 2007 election, we received the award for one of the best elections held in West Africa, Sierra Leone, and Artists for Peace. We were labeled United Nations Peace Ambassador because of the contributions during that election. And ever since, the Artists for Peace has been here, 2012, 2000, you know, you name them. But if we tell you, say there's not been challenges, politicians approaching us because they know so you get something. But the thing was, they look at, what about the people? What about the ordinary man? We don't get voice. We don't go understand some of the technicalities and we really understand. And waiting you get how after elections, because there's life after election, you get career after elections. There are so many things. Oh, they look at it, we say, you know what, let us stick with the UNDP, let us stick with the NEC, let us stick with Osiwa Action 8, let us stick with a National Commission for Democracy, and play the good.
And with all them partners, at the end of the day, we're going to put food on the table without one not come from any political party.
Thankfully, because at the end of the day, waiting with the receive na stipends, honorarium, we're not being paid. Like for us, we would recruit people in Artists for Peace to say, this is what we give back to society. We not receive payment, but waiting and enable you for make you make sure say you go let you aid safe upline if you get for go. When I get a song, a quality video, when I go put out there, and then little money in your pocket where you know go big for cold water back. So it's stipends on honorarium. But I tell you, you take that with your pride. You go able to sit down after election and talk to the even one the way you put in the power, because their job is to work for us there.
Look at you trend. You know, you don't rose to prominence for a very long time, but think them now your biggest hit. Yeah. And after that, you say you put the Santon Reach, and it's reach to the height. But one song we don't play for you past all the songs until date, now the election song.
Yeah.
You know, because you watch the amount of radio station with the link, people will get a radio tone.
Yeah.
And after that, you don't stop. Doing that temptation time in the you release Amen.
Yeah.
Where you self don't see the social commentary now. But for the benefits of viewers them, you want to give you small verse from the song during the elections?
Not the same thing that way we dey cry for. Not the same thing that way we for vote for. So Bokup and the question we dey ask. Now we back get the answer. We way the crack the gumbe bata. Now we back now the dancers. But if I take 10 this trip and know for waiting with the dance so. One for see salon go before a listener reach answer.
So the youth can get this message, and most of them be complain. You see, after the election, you be kind of streets freely again and move. You just celebrate the 15 years. What are we expecting? Before we come look inside, waiting that your recommendation to the authority we concerning to read entertainers them, follow changing narrative and get a better entertainment in this country.
15 years of hard work, 15 years of experience. It's a night, March 29, of course, in Paradise City, Lumley Beach. It's a night of learning. It's a night of experience. First of all, I'm not the only person who entertain that night today, because it's an entertainment industry celebration. It just happens that they are the center of it, but everybody is. You're gonna see comedians who are part of the entertainment. That's why it's a broad, actors, they don't go act perhaps when they go play role like MCing and other roles, of course, because they celebrate 15 years as an actor, as a human rights activist, as a women and children ambassador, as a peace ambassador. So we go hope for get speeches from, Legal Aid Board, speeches from NEC, just bits and pieces of Action Aid, Osiwa, Talking Drum Studio, UNDP, of course, Save the Children, UNICEF, all those people that I don't partner with in the past, at least we go see them, for just compliments. So it's 15 years of everything we don't know the industry put into one. But most importantly, it's a live performance from me especially, and I can't forget most of my colleagues that will join me on stage for Celebrate. And then it's 15 years of everything. It's a night for go show say, what you get for show for 15 years, how much you don't learn, can't showcase, can't teach, can't preach.
People will explain what they know wide and
I'd expect you to do something like a poem. Do a poem. We'll kill the bitter little and then you read it on top.
Well, I'll bring one, but you see what you encounter, they come to you live on Star TV on Channel 21. We'll talk about the creative art industry. When I come back, we can look at the recommendation. What do you feel like we need to do together? It might be from the government, from the private sector, the corporate people, and we the people for come together, low pusher. To you, Alex, the question, Premier League they play, other sector they go ahead. The advocacy, the answer for our girls, everything they go on smooth. But the creative art industry, whether the President manifesto, from page 42, that was page 45, and we talk about the House of Parliament, talk about everything, talk about the theatre, talk about every other thing inside it. And all that happen now. When are the recommendation from you?
Well, I think it's all about getting the relevant stakeholders. We really concerned about the industry and people we get positions as in, we get different unions, we get different associations for able to look at the bigger picture, which is Sierra Leone. How then go all able to let go of the egos and look at now we get a government, we get a president where we don't make pronunciations on this and that about the creative art industry in terms of creating creative arts academy, creative art institution for music, whole lot of fine things. Now, can we sit back and catalog all of these things and take a conversation with them? But it's all about something I think within the first kind conversations is about who that go take the conversation, who that not go take the conversation. It's been like about in fight, this person want take the battle.
No the party, no one party being a power.
Not
to we can paper for una.
So it's been all of that struggle, and I think that because government always close to the people, of course, then they always get ears on the ground and know what's in the happen. They are aware of how disunited these people are. So at the end of the day, if they ignore them, they know say during that moment of ignoring them, the indifferences and they're able to make them able to look at the bigger picture. So I think it's about starting a conversation first of all, then stakeholders in the entertainment.
I mean, everybody for come together, we table the documents, we understand them, and move on to authority way concerned. There was the time we the youth ministry call national dialogue, but not the right way we organize so. And we listened for Doam Aninan, with that of the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs and Ministry of Information and Communications. And then three for come together, we'll get the documents running. Who that for kick and start?
Would that for kicking? What do you mean in terms of the government?
No, not the government. On the parts of the people in the creative world. How this thing for get started? On your suggestion, whose players do you feel will come together and move the document back ahead?
Well, I think even when we discuss them, so it's started already. The media gets a key role for play. We want to see, first of all, the media institutions. Is it Star? Is it AOV? Is it 98? Is it SLBC? Point out this thing as topical issues, begin for run stories on them, so government be able to generate interest as to how we supposed to do them. Because it's a very tricky one again, because the industry gets so many layers in terms of, even sometimes honestly government self can confuse as to who that for contact or who that for talk to, because when governments call them people you get the one and say no, this they're not to the right one day, they're not get the rights now, these didn't get the rights now, that didn't get the rights. So I think we need for the few players like Wahid he's a very respectable person, 15 years, and one thing I always get admired from Anoto ABC Doana, because of humility and how much you're always willing for learn, collaborate, and connect with people. So it's about, we all need for at this time take leadership. It's probably with three ways you don't have, because one thing I've noticed is that if we're not able to take the move, we left Sidon the wrong people, then they take the move, then it's always a problem.
We'll continue to cast the blame. So I'm coming back to you, Wahid. Also within now one crossroad way of the black and white of the president in New Direction Manifesto. They decided they are aware. If you read the page for that on page 45, a writer inside about the creative art industry, which everything he wants to do as a president, and he need the support of everybody for doing. Getting a stable act to we go lead to a commission in the future. Get all the players and get the academy, quality studios, and other things. Also, you feel so they get them wrong, and how we for fix them up now?
Going forward in my career, I don't learn for play the blame, and I don't learn for stop for play the blame game. You understand? And I think I agree with my brother Alex here. We get to take responsibility and get to identify players we go able for. Handle the mantle. You know what I mean? In leadership when it comes to every area. Let me make it clear and I say, the footballers, it's a well deserved. The league going on. We understand how long football has been languishing in this country. It's a well-deserved. So I know they envy them. In fact, it's one thing where I'm so happy for footballers, because when we speak of celebration, I can always say Sierra Leone, like me uncle Kamad, the late Kamadu Mbwera, annoying contribution. He was not celebrated when he been there alive. When he died, some of us we see how people come in. We want to change that scenario. That is why some of the tag shows and celebration. So we're happy that football get that kind of attention now. And they so pleased when they see people these flops, Sykes Street, Savage Street, railway line axis when they say football day, whether a night or a day. It pleases me, and I feel say this is what we do for apply to the entertainment industry. Long before now, we don't make effort, you know, and they don't give it small, the balance we don't get. Like I remember with the previous government, we get them past the certificate of urgency with the piracy bill, but then they not form the registrar office. We not give it capacity for operate, for move forward. I remember the last time we were called to a meeting with the Honorable Minister Oman Bangura, foreign affairs. Yeah. And yes, and I think that was the beginning of some very fine talks. And later on we understand that mandate has been passed down to the tourism ministry, and then we know we're nothing. But like I say, just when I step in, I was listening to Alex. Are we asking the right questions? Are we knocking the right doors to people? Because at the end of the day, let me tell you, government gets a lot line played so much so that if we're dormant, it's a good excuse for them. Government don't want to spend kobo. Let me tell you, government don't want to spend money. First of all, the president in pilot program, education, as far as we're concerned, he's doing fine. You understand? Nothing, not that we're not getting to lapses. As far as he's concerned, in pilot program where he promised this country, he's delivering. As far as we're concerned, the first lady, they're doing hands-off girls, again girls. If we able to explain to them, I mean, he was mentioning about the business aspect of the music. You know, we get for left for column music. It's music business. If we understand and explain to them, waiting and stand out for gain, we're speaking employment for young people. We're industry will create employment for young people as well. We don't do it for so long a time. an industry where we voice, apart from the fact that the politicians they try to corrupt some of we musicians for make we become politicians.
And it's on extent can become enemies.
Yeah, but I tell you what, tourism, the tourism aspect, Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, thank God for SKP. We were in Nigeria where all this happened. They poured money, good luck Jonathan, they poured money and changed the thing. Now, he was speaking of DSTV channels. You don't just get channels. Even if it's a private businessman, it takes money. Because they cannot see your product, because he was saying they for admire you outside and let the government see. They're not going to admire outside if you don't get a channel where they go outside. I agree totally. People like Adonis Aboud, for them they put the good word, and for concern now say for as long as you operate in this country.
As a nation, we don't know the full criteria within it.
Exactly. If we don't have
there's a channel
international
the state corporation for Duam. Well, if they don't want Duam now, if people and they will get content for Duam, why not get the blessing alone? Know what's involved. I
remember one time we make a move with Sam Kagbo. We approached one of these television. I think it was 9GZ. We want for extend level to get view. Let we get view on channels. At some point, they started playing Sierra Leone movies, and one of them channels there, and they stopped. I think it was a favor based thing. The other day, I think they moved. I don't know whether it was Sound City DSTV. They came here looking for videos. I agree with him. They saw poor video. But all of this will change if we start treating music as business. If we transform this industry into a money-making machine. Because people like the Mohammed Kalom, they came and they left. So I'm even concerned for people like Kabaka, where they do well, to have a move Ghana, get this thing so that we will get international platforms. Took some artists, I think to Ghana and all that. But at the end of the day, if Kabaka is not making that money in return, instead go left. We don't see. That's why I say, if 15 years don't give experience, we don't see. People don't come and go. Bittersweet. So people will leave until we transform this thing into a money-making machine. It's a business. First of all, we need to understand how much capacity this thing gets for make money. How much tax are we paying? How much governments they collect? How much revenue government they collect from us every year? How much we contribute to the GDP of this country? And then we need to transform that energy, because I'm telling you, sometimes some of them ministers there. Now, when then Kenya, we remember who they passed, some of the legal people, the lawyers. Now, when then Kenya, then they start to do research all over. They don't know. They don't know. We're supposed to know better. So let us put all of this knowledge together, approach the right people, make them understand how much go change the tourism industry. Nigeria was known for waiting, armed robbery, ritual killings, etc. You name it. What would that Nigeria film? Nobody wants to go to Nigeria. But the Davido, the young boys, the Camp, the Two-Face,
the guys from the movie or the Desperate and all that.
Of course, and now everybody wants to go to Nigeria. The same problem with Nigeria being they get not only manifested at the past elections. Yeah. It's not different. Nigerians still remain one of the poorest countries in Africa. The only thing they've got that population when you sell a product, if you product hit as an individual, you go become rich. It's not different. What we need for Dunaya, let's see with we small population how we go position we safe so that we go able for break other markets. If we can, he mentioned the Mano Union. If at least we can market cross over with
just
markets,
like Guinea and Abidjan and all.
Yeah,
you don't go different. I'll be on the back as really about to wrap up anytime from now. It's a Youth Encounter. They come to you live on the start. We'll go a quick break. When I come out with the airport, we'll guest them. We are still getting at the studios. Alex Nalo Jr., we are the managing director of Multimedia Plus, and also Awuna Wahid, the people they call Wahid, the spokesman for Artists for Peace, as they celebrate the 50th anniversary on the 29th of March in our Paradise Garden. A quick break, come right back, and have the encounter for today.
Yes, we go sweat from me, we get the antomato.
Young Leap on the beats.
But once not got your shit, young go must go motto. But gently now we all make we take them. Well, body now we all make we take them. If you believe you go receive them, say you go make them. Gently now we all make we take them. Well, body now we all make we take them. If you believe you go receive them, say you go make them. Blessings will follow you. Favor go follow you, and did you not go bother you? Say you go make them. Good things go follow you. The picking and go better you, and nobody not go bother you. Say you go make them. If you get good person how you life, do your all and fine, because good people hard to find. Yeah. Now God we're good now in life.
by His grace. Oh, only when thing meets you, you know, go take life for granted. People can be trusted. Yeah. When you see how them go they run, when the trouble go for down a gun, when the bush go calm na tongue. Oh, His goodness and His mercies go always follow me, because He made of His image and likeness, yes. So we go sweat, forget we daily pray. Must not go the shame. Say we go cool we day. Go gently now, yo, make we take 'em. Well, body now, yo, make we take 'em. If you believe, you go receive 'em. Say you go make 'em. Gently now, yo, make we take 'em. Well, body now, yo, make we take 'em. If you believe, you go receive 'em. Say you go make 'em. Blessings go follow you. Favor go follow you. And you not go bother you. Say you go make 'em. Good things go follow you. The picking and go better you. And nobody not go bother you. Say you go make 'em. If you don't wait so say make them give you. Be like a line. Go tell before you make 'em. Cause matter man greed. Man told him for himself, yeah. Even the party that fambule steal and rich than self, yeah. Put you up to God, not the fact. Now you always they watch me back. Now they make her they dance and they lady that, and they daddy like that, yeah. Every day you don't fill up me bank. That's just like a shower, you don't fill up me tank. Not only you, Papa, I say not only you, I just put it down, yeah. Go gently now, yo, make we take 'em. Well, body now, yo, make we take 'em. If you believe, you go receive 'em. Say you go make 'em. Gently now, yo, make we take 'em. Well, body now, yo, make we take 'em. If you believe, you go receive 'em. Say you go make 'em. Blessings go follow you. Favor go follow you. And you not go bother you. Say you go make 'em. Good things go follow you. And go better you, and nobody not go bother you. Say you go make 'em, money go follow you, or some total go follow you. Now work go come for you. Say you go make 'em, married go follow you, and go better you, and no you not go bother you.
Yo guys, how are you?
Say you go make 'em,
Escape you like mine.
blessings go follow you. Favor go follow you. And you not go bother you. Say you go make 'em. Good things go follow you. The picking and go better you. And nobody not go bother you. Say you go make 'em.
Welcome back, and we don't get a very good moment. We start with Camouflage, move on to CJ and Slays, and we end up with Wahid as a way for sure how the industry don't grow in terms of quality videos. Alex Multimedia Plus don't come, and we don't have to change narrative and help somebody go access this on state-of-the-art equipment. And what next for the Multimedia Plus company?
Well, I think in terms of access, within Campbell Street, Pademba Road, number 2, Campbell Street, Esebekli compound. So it's a walk-in space. You can walk in and look at things and what we do, and let's have a conversation with regards to how we will do business. Looking forward, as Wahid really talked about, music is business. So there's no way to separate them. And in business, what you will learn is that you get to invest before profit. So business is not a miracle. It wouldn't happen overnight. So,
okay.
But then it's been a lot of difficulty. So I think the Multimedia Plus, it's a very huge investment. We want to change the narrative of the creative art industry, and we're not looking up to government. So as currently it's been spent over $200,000. That is no exaggeration. When you walk into the space, you're able to know equipment are expensive. Just 2 days ago, we did discuss about a lens we for buy, because we're using a C500 camera, which is coupled up with the lenses. They're costing like $20,000. Now, even the prime lens they will for use, it will beat your imagination. Say, Bas, the lens they normal they cost $142,000. You'd be like, how do you get this money? But the fact is that now that equipment they are, industry standards and they use. And within a time, we will say, no, that's so Nigerian be standard, so Ghana be started. Yes, when they started, their equipment have not been there in the market. Software has not been there. And if you witness, it take them 20 years, 25 years for gets to this day. So we back one it take we 25 years from this day for all reach side and day. The question is no. So we get for who side and day now do we they start?
Just the equipment and the capacity building
exactly.
and all. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So there's any number somebody will keep in touch with?
Currently we withhold that small, but you can come now the space.
Okay.
Now number 2.
So social media 7 multimedia plus all over.
Multimedia plus all over. You can come now the space. It's we have a state of the art audio recording studio. We get video, music video studio, green screen, talk shows, whatever media content you want. You won't forget your shows on TV. We produce all of those stuffs, and we get because of a corporate need, we get also a photo studio so that we're able to manage your brand in terms of we're able to look at the vision where you get and the
quality photo, you know.
And the media materials and we're able to need for drive you. So as I say, it's a creative space. We get different conversations, meeting people. We're just learning because the equipment they yes, they're important. They are state of the art. They're standard. But then equipment even when they don't take 2 years and then they produce nothing. So we're having conversation on waiting at the right approaches, getting the right people, right talent.
And want to kick the ball over.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Alex. Now, the managing director of Multimedia Plus, tell you, but waiting and get, and you don't gain your own expertise because you get a vast knowledge in the entertainment sector. Salah, you left one outing will be closing courtesy and the word of advice to young entertainers, authority concerned, the private sector, the corporate world, and what are we expecting more and more on the 29th of March, the Paradise Garden.
To young artists, I just say focus and know the reason, because most of we spend more time on the wrong reason why we come into the music. You know, fame, the women and all those things. It's petty, it's business, it's music business. Nigeria, the economy, the discipline, they're all naturally. So anything within they go power, anything they not get, then they go for the money straight. And that's how, if only you keep your eyes on the prize, because what you focus on expands. You know, so young entertainers no say at the end of the day learn from the masters. You understand? At the end of the day, no matter how you do them, if you're able to get money for show for your time in the game, always you don't build the come crashing down. So let us make this thing a beast. Like I said, we transform the industry into a money making machine. If we can make money for us, we can feed with family and go encourage you for doing, because they would ask you, waiting you go all day go sing this thing, and we're still starving. You know, at the end of the day, that part is important. And then to the government, one for challenge to say this is an industry where we make Sierra Leone will change the image across the world. Sierra Leone will be known for better things. We are the best people for showcase with beautiful beaches, with shores, with pleasantries. I'm happy that we'll get somebody we also get a photo studio where we can take pictures, because those are the things where they transform the energy. Because I tell you what, I still challenge you, Bash. Go on the internet. Still, there are certain things when you look for, when you download or when you Google, the pictures of Sierra Leone is still negative. You see war, those brutal things. Those are still the pictures. What are the IT people doing? They don't put them in there. They don't put up. There are new stuff so they don't go up there. When somebody Googles Sierra Leone from outside, make them see better things there. We have a lot to show. Show an Amen video. Show the CJ in video you play. Show the person. These are good stuff. So people don't say, oh, there. Some of us when we travel, I remember the time we were in Italy. When we show them some of this, and they say, this stuff from Sierra Leone. We say yes. We get for they explain that every other day, because when you Google, so the government we get all them things there. Now we roll down the
quick one,
empower the entertainment industry.
What are the costs for being part of your concert on the 29th?
It's 30,000 for ordinary, 250,000 for VIP.
Okay.
But I tell you what, it's a live concert, and you're not just gonna see me. You will see comedians and lots, if not all of the musicians.
A night of celebration. Thank you so much. The spokesman will keep you in touch.
Thank you.
And I'm Awunawai Dumbia, and the spokesman for Artists for Peace. It is celebrated in 15 years on 29th of March. When I saw the encounter will come to an end today, plenty thank you to all. We don't take time for watch. Now the Facebook Live on Star TV Live. At the internet broadcast, we online on the Greece support. We're in www.startvs.com. You can download the Line Me app and watch Star TV programs, as well as listen Star Radio programs all the time. And till then, I will be una presenter, Mohamed Basiru Samuseke Tata, and keep watching Star TV on Channel 21. This is a Youth Encounter. You get the broadcast on Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m.
Sierra Leone's ever-growing youthful population still continues to grapple with high rates of unemployment and other challenges. Despite the enormous challenges, young people are still working on realizing their potential. With emerging entrepreneurs and innovators, Youth Encounter on Star Television and Radio is a program that showcases successful young people, discuss the challenges and provide recommendations. Join Mohammed Basiru Sanusi PM. It's Youth Encounter on Star TV on Channel 21.